Hello there, welcome to this video. What you've just seen is a part of the finished product of Zombie Defender, a top-down survival game in a post-apocalyptic theme that I made. I just woke up one day and decided that I wanted to make a game in only 2 days, from the first second of a Saturday to the last second of a Sunday. And this is how it went. Enjoy! This whole project starts here, with just you and me and an empty scene in Unity. Most good game developers in this situation will start by creating all the core mechanics, codes, and stuff like that. And I, of course, started by making all of the artwork. I mean, what were you expecting? I'm also making a YouTube video here at the end of the day. And now away from the topic for a second, I was especially proud of this little zombie I made. It just looks so nice to me. Alright, all of this is very cool, but I think it's about time that I explain how the gameplay is going to work. The game's focus will be this little human over here, which is controlled by an AI and will be trying to survive against the enemies. Those enemies will be the several waves of zombies coming in from all directions trying to get some delicious human brains. It will then be your task as the player to defend this lonely human with some air support, using these targets that follow your mouse around. And don't even bother noting the insane CGI of this video, it's all just best quality video editing over here. With all of the artwork done and a lot of great ideas in mind, it was time to start the fun parts, making the codes. The first script that I made was one for the AI that controls all of the zombies. A simple process that totally didn't go wrong. There are certainly no enemies moving backwards like they were scared of the human, and there are no enemies at all that could go for walls pretending they were ghosts. After a couple of small fixes though, I got it done and the zombies are now working just as intended. I also spent way more time than I should have spent making some enemy spawners. Oh, and the human can't die yet, so the zombies just make a big pile. Now it's time for the hard parts, making the human walk around, trying to avoid all of the zombies. It would be quite weird if this guy just stood there in the middle of the screen just waiting to be chomped at. I was pairing of the details, but this AI was not very smart at first. It didn't feel like it was in the mood of doing anything really. Eventually though, I was happy enough with the human's dodging abilities that I could continue into the next part of the project. However, there was a big problem ahead of me to deal with. We've been making some good progress so far. The artwork's done, and so are most of the core mechanics. But our time situation is not looking very great. I gave myself 48 hours to make this whole game, and so far it's been 35 hours. Nearly 3/4 of the total time. Which means that for these last 13 hours I had to make a lot of progress. And this is where things really started going fast. Next, I made a target that follows the mouse around. This will be how the player takes out the zombies and defends the human. When I did this, I also had to make the cursor invisible, which meant that I couldn't find the quit button to save my life. Oh, and then I found this bug, so that's cool. And finally the player can shoot the zombies down. Took long enough to be able to play the game. With all the car mechanics done, and then got into adding replayability, so that you can actually play the game more than once. This meant creating nearly all of the UI. I made a pause screen, as well as a main menu. and a game over screen, which led to making the human able to die. The last thing that I added to the game was the shop and wave system. The idea is that every couple of seconds, the game will freeze, giving the player a chance to buy upgrades with the money they collected from taking out zombies. One of the upgrades will increase your damage, while the other one increases the human speed. There's also this fancy looking weapon that sadly I couldn't get working in time. When a player is done with all of the shopping, they can then continue to the next wave, which will be harder than the last one. And the game ended up being quite difficult because I didn't have the time for balancing. So, good luck. We have a problem. The game doesn't feel good to play yet. To make this better, I'm gonna do some polishing, add some player feedback, and hopefully this will be fixed. Normally one who wants to leave a couple of hours for this stage of the game. It's past 11 PM, so I have less than 1 hour to get this done and published. Then we better make it count. First, I spent a little time doing some post-processing. Just a bunch of vignettes and a little bit of grain. And all of a sudden the game feels completely different. It just adds so much to the ambience. I also did a couple of sound effects on Audacity. Nothing crazy, just fire bullets and for when the zombies die. With about half an hour left, I tried to add some camera shake by using Cinemachine, but then this happened. And even if it was an easy fix, I didn't have the time to solve it, so I just called it here for polishing. And the very last thing that I had to do was make a build of the project and do some final testing. The only problem that I ran into was with those blue bars on the sides of the screen, which means that the scene was just a bit too small, so I just had to increase its size a little bit. And finally, the game is done. Here's the final result. Enjoy! With only 1 single minute left on the clock, it was time to release the game on h.ttps for anyone to download and play, just in the nick of time. Then I noticed that I forgot to make the project public, so I quickly fixed it before I ran out of time. And so, this is it. The game is done, and all that we have left to do is wait as the seconds pass and this journey ends. This experience was amazing, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. So let's enjoy this final little moment. Thank you for watching this video. This was a ton of fun, and I'm excited to create the next one. I'm very happy with this result, and while it was not perfect, I see a lot of ways to improve for the next game, especially when it comes to balancing. Other than that, go check out Zombie Defender on itch.io, the link's in the description. And of course, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!